Why should you join the Livingston County Republican Party?
Why, you ask?
Yeah, why?
Why join?
The Republican Party is the party of common sense.
Common sense.
Republicans support the Constitution.
Republicans protect your rights.
We fight to keep your children safe.
We fight to keep boys and men out of girls and women's sports.
We fight to keep boys out of girls' restrooms.
We fight for you.
What does the Republican Party do?
We help Republican candidates get elected.
Why is it important to elect Republicans?
Why is that important?
Why?
Tell me, why is that important?
Livingston County is one of the safest counties in Michigan.
Livingston County has one of the lowest crime rates in the state of Michigan.
Livingston County has the lowest tax millage rate of all 83 counties.
Republicans work to balance the budget.
Republican legislators vote against raising your taxes.
Republican elected officials believe in transparency.
Republican clerks run elections with integrity.
Republican trustees protect your rights.
Republicans support our veterans.
Who can join?
If you are conservative, we want you in our party.
All conservatives are welcome at our table.
Join our activities.
Join the fun.
Become a member.
Join us now.
Hi, I'm Deb Drick, Chair of Livingston County Republican Party. Our conservative message has been very well received in Livingston County, and I'm so happy to share with you that people are stepping up right and left to help. The only thing's missing is you. Come join our mission. Come join our fun. Go to livingstonrepublicans.com and click join. You'll be glad you did.
Good evening and happy February 24th. Last podcast of February. My gosh, it's flying. Oh, and you know what? I don't like necessarily when time flies, but February can fly. March can fly too. April, I'd like to slow down. So, okay, good. Welcome, and I want to welcome our guest, Laura Wilkerson. Laura is a Howell Township. She's a lifelong, I believe she'll tell you about it, lifelong Livingston County resident. But she is in Howell Township, and she is going to run for one of the controversial townships in our. They've had their share of ups and downs over there. So, Laura, we appreciate. Welcome to the show, first of all, and we appreciate that you're willing to get in there and try to help settle things down and help work things out for them. So, I grew up in Howell Township. I don't know if you knew that, but Howell Township is my original Livingston County home. I lived there for, was going through school. So I have a soft spot for that area, and I'm really happy that you're stepping up. So let's get right into it. First of all, we're gonna, right here, greetings from Wayne County. That's Mark Ashley Price, who is, they do have a couple of Republicans out there, so I'm learning. So Mark's one of them. And right before the State of the Union, yes, that's true. And we have Joni. Hi, Joni. Good evening, Madam Chair, and Laura. Hi, Joni. Good evening.
And then here's Mark again. To those who might not know, the reason why the Vice President usually sits behind the President of the State of the Union is because the Vice President is the President of the U.S. Senate. That is correct. And they refer to the Vice President just like they refer to the Lieutenant Governor in the State Senate as Mr. President. While they're referring to them as they're addressing them, they'll say Mr. President, and that is because they are the presiding officer, which is where you get that from. So we have, I can already tell your guest is awesome, terrific, and greetings from Iowa, Randy Guppy. What are you doing in Iowa? Did you bring your bunny seasoning with you? That's the important question there. So, all right, let's get right into Laura here. First of all, Laura, why don't you kind of introduce yourself? Let's start with your personal bio. Like, where'd you grow up? Where, et cetera.
Okay, I have been a Howell Township resident since 2004, and I've lived in the Brighton-Howell area my entire life. I am a graduate of Heartland High School. This is home for me. This is where I grew up. My father built businesses in Livingston County, owned a construction business and a cabinet and countertop business. Subsequently, he retired. I started a insurance agency, and I built my career here. Currently, I'm raising my son Nathan. He's a senior at Howell High School, and we're on the north side of Howell Township. And this is where I plan to stay and retire. So this community is deeply personal to me.
Good. All right. Well, let's talk about your professional bio a little bit. What did what have you done like work-wise until this time?
Absolutely. I worked with my father for probably about 25 to 30 years in the construction business. We started from scratch back in the mid-90s in the Brighton area. We built it to where we had a location in Brighton, Heartland, and Howell.
Oh, nice.
All three locations, and I helped him. Both my father and my mother and myself ran that business and had many employees. We were able to, we used to say we made people's dreams come true.
Nice.
So it was a really great job. So loved that job. From there, I went back to school. Went to Kaplan University and got several licenses, financial licenses, my Series 6 and 63, so I'm very familiar with stocks, bonds. So I've got a little background in construction, a little background in the insurances, and built that insurance agency from the ground up. Built it to just shy of $4 million, and then I decided to sell it and become a mom for a little while.
All right.
So I was able to do that for a while, and my son's getting a little bit older now, getting ready to start his next chapter of life. And I went back to work. Currently, I'm working at Brighton Analytical and helping oversee I'm the accounting manager and project manager there, as well as I help run the day-to-day operations.
Okay.
So it keeps me pretty busy, and I'm looking forward to hopefully getting the trustee position and helping Howell move forward.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like you got a well-rounded resume for that. So, of course, well, how long have you lived in Howell Township?
Howell Township, it's been since 2004.
Oh, okay. So, couple years.
So quite a while.
Yeah.
Quite a while. My dad and I built the house
not
up
what
there.
you call a newbie.
No.
All right.
No.
So then let me ask you this: what made you want to run? What
Howell Township is home for me. I've got a background with financial oversight. I've got the leadership experience, and I just want to serve the community that I live in and that I love so much. And without any agenda, just help the township grow forward.
Okay.
And be a part of that process.
Okay. And you're saying, so I'm like putting two to two together. You said your son's a senior, so that means he's going off to college in the fall?
He is going off to college.
This might be a good kind of time-wise to transition?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Transition, keep me busy.
Yeah, you kept out of things while your son was at home as you kept your nose on your kid, and
Absolutely.
Now he's off. All right.
They keep us on our toes.
Well, then government just becomes a new baby, trust me. All right, here we got Russ Jennings popping in. Greetings from the birthplace of the Republican Party. All of us Republicans know that would be Jackson, Michigan. Joni thinks your resume there is impressive. I agree, Joni. Our commission vice chair wants to know if you have any experience on committees or Robert's Rules of Order.
Absolutely. I actually was the PTO president for my son in between middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. We also dealt with the COVID and coming back from COVID and kind of working in those parameters. And most PTOs use Robert's Rules of Law.
All right.
So I think that's important in coming in with that experience into the boards that utilize that.
Right. That trips up. I have watched it. I've been half thinking, on behalf of the party, I give a lot of different trainings for a lot of different things. And one of them I was thinking of is kind of doing all right, now you're elected to a board position. let's have a little Robert's Rules of Order. Let's have, training. Let's have a little bit of expectations. What does this mean? You've done the campaign. Now you've got to go govern. What does that mean? So I'm thinking about doing that. So that's good. Thanks for that question, Jay. And here's Randy from Iowa asking, what are you doing in Wisconsin? Oh dear. Here comes the fight. All right. Put the gloves down, gentlemen. This night's about Laura. All right. So, so you decided to run. What kind of as a government official? I know you've talked about your resume, but what specific skills can you transfer, from things you've done to helping the township? What might that look like?
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing that I bring to the table is fiscal responsibility and oversight. That's been a big part of my career in whether it was helping my father build his business, whether it was building my own business, or right now helping scale my existing job right now. Financials are super important. They're important to Howell Township.
Right.
They've got a lot of planning projects that are in the mix right now. They have, possibly a new voting center,
right,
a new township hall. They're looking at different things like that. So with my background, having the construction background, along with the financial background, I'm into the long-term planning and ensuring that projects go.
Where are they
time.
On their master plan? Do you know, or is that something you need to look into yet?
As of the last township meeting, which was, I believe, mid-February, I want to say, they have some renderings and some drawings, and they're looking at going forward as to whether they want it to be more of a township hall and park, or whether it's going to, what all does that entail and what does that look like?
So that's the building. I guess I was talking about their master plan, their policies and their growth schedule and that sort of thing.
They're still looking into a lot of things.
Okay.
I know they've hired a consultant, or they're looking at some consulting firms to look over what their ordinances should be, where there needs to be updates.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that with your planning, your project planning, that would probably be a big help from there. So, so as far as, you've talked about your tangible skills, what stand out, more or less, capabilities or characteristics do you think you bring? Anything stand out? I mean, do you have a great temperament, or are you a good listener, or, more about you than about your technical skills?
My technical
the soft skills,
Sure. I think the biggest thing that I would bring to the table is, as a lifelong resident, I've watched Howell Township, I've watched Livingston County as a whole grow. So I'm not opposed to growth. I think it's fabulous that people come here and have chosen this place to come, live, raise their families. So I'm not opposed to the growth and helping steer that to where what it needs to be, following the master plan. I have a great temperament. I don't have any agenda other than to serve the people. And get along with everybody and be respectful. I think that's the most important.
I think it is too. I think it is. Some of the ups and downs over there have been over, personality bumps. So if you're softer or, much more respectful, then, you're not reactive, then I think that's going to help calm things down. So I guess the big question on every Howell Township person's mind, whether they're watching now or they will be watching over the next couple of weeks, is, the big thing. I can talk about 15 out of 16 townships in Livingston County, and only one of them is going to really come out with this one. Is, where do you stand on the data centers? That's a big one there. So
that has been a very big one for Howell Township.
Yep.
And I'll be honest with you, I would say 100% anybody that is involved on the township and the board, you need to talk. I wouldn't make a decision until I got out and I talked to the people. Because I think that is really where it needs to be. People's voices need to be heard.
Okay, so residents good, residents driven. That's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's important for any candidate.
I think with communities, you have to listen to the residents.
Right.
You have to make yourself available to those residents. And if elected, that is exactly what I will do.
Well, good. All right. So just let me kind of put a polish on that one or close it out. As far as data centers go, I mean, it is all about the residents, right? I mean, I don't have to live with it. I can say, learn the truth, find out the roots, everything else, but I don't have to live with it. And I've told people that, but you guys do. So, the fact that you're willing to listen to the people that will be living next to it, it's probably a very, very good thing. In my campaign classes now, I talk about pie, and I talk about election pie. We call it the Drick election pie. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's really a campaign's a great big pie that has a bunch of little pieces, and the different slices have names such as fundraising, knowledge of the community, good message, whatever else. So what pieces of that pie do you think you have some good strength in right now? Like, what are some of those pieces? Good, like a lot of sign locations or a lot of community support or a lot of, knowledge of whatever.
I have a lot of knowledge and would be an asset, I believe, to the board.
Okay.
I would be able to hit the ground running, if you will.
Okay.
I have the background, I have the financial background, I have the technical background, I have the right temperament.
So you'd know how to ask. You're not running for treasurer or anything. You're not interested in that. You just want treasurer. Oh God, no. No. You just want trustee. But
yes,
that'd be good because you'll be able to still and I want to make that clear. Just because you're not the treasurer doesn't mean you don't pay attention to the finance. You still have to understand that budget. You still have to be able to ask good questions. You still have to be able to say, well, here's something in this budget that concerns me, or whatever. I see what's this red line here for? So that brings. But when it comes to you filed, correct?
Yes,
okay.
I have.
You have filed.
I have
All right.
filed. I'm very blessed. I have a very supportive family that I'm very thankful for.
Yep.
Family, friends, tons of sign locations, tons of people that are willing to go out there and help me make this run and make it happen for me. So I'm very, very thankful for that. And I have time, which one of the most important things to me that I will be going out and doing is knocking on doors.
Good.
So if you see me, please open your door. I would love to talk. I'd love to hear what you have to say and where you think Howell Township needs to go, because you have a voice here with me.
Well, good. All right. So that's good. So as it pertains to the pie pieces, what things do you need help with in your campaign? We'll start with your campaign.
In my campaign, I would say helping, just getting the word out.
Okay.
Would be wonderful. If there's somebody who wants to walk around and door knock with me, I'd love to have some company and we can sit and talk and learn together.
Okay.
So I'd like to do that. For some of I'm very involved in the school. I'm very involved in, the township. You'll see me at the township meetings. You'll see me around town. It's always been a joke. I live here, I work here, I shop here. You will see me.
Okay.
So I'm very proud that I can walk through Meyer and hold my head high.
Okay.
So if you see me, please, I'm very approachable.
So if somebody has a neighborhood, they can call you and say, hey, on Saturday you want to come around and I'll walk around and introduce you to my neighborhoods. That's what you're looking for?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I would love that.
All right. And this is Howell Township, people. So
and any sign locations, if you're on a major roadway that would be great for a sign, I would love to put a sign.
Have you got a Facebook page yet?
We are working on that now.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
It will be Laura Wilkerson for Howell Township trustee.
Okay. So let me write that in there. Wait, down here. Usually Tyler is here doing this stuff. So you see a computer here. It's not usually here. Wilkerson for Township. Oh, you know what? This is all what I'm doing one word like it's a stupid thing. Hang on, people. Where is Tyler? If you're watching,
help! But I'll be thankful for anybody that puts up a sign, or I'm also going to have an ice cream social. Please come.
Okay.
And I'm
Well,
looking
we'll
for
put-
somewhere to host that right now. So if
All
anybody
right.
has any ideas, I'm open to suggestions.
Yes, Howell Township, you need a place to hold an ice cream social. If not, we'll have to move it closer to the city or something. But yes, it would seems like the township would be the best place. But yes, that's so this is what her Facebook page will be. So anybody in Howell Township that's watching, you might want to mark and start looking for that. Or, I think you could probably friend her on Facebook, and then, she'll post that link when she's done. So, all right, well, good. So the master plan is obviously something you want to have input on, and you want to be, or that you'll be able to contribute to, and the financial stability is in your opinion, is it stable now?
I think they've done a great job. And from what I've heard, yes, financially, Howell Township has picked themselves up, and financially they're in a great
they were some time ago. They were in some serious trouble, if I remember correctly.
Yes,
Okay.
they were, but they've made some great
Right.
progress there.
Right.
They should be really proud of
I believe
themselves.
Mike Coddington did a lot of work on that, and I give him big kudos because he was a big part of that, dig out of the financial hole kind of thing. So good for him for
Yes.
doing that. So, well, that's good. So what would you like to see, where would you like to see Howell Township be in like 5 years?
Well, one of the things they're going to have to address is a place to vote.
Oh, that's right.
That's really one of the big topics
That's right,
that are
because
going to
they
need to
can't
be
vote at the
discussed.
EMS anymore.
No, in 2028, I believe, is their last
Okay,
voting there.
okay.
So the township hall offices, the park, whether they're going to add voting to that location. I'd like to see that become a destination for the people of the township.
I wonder if they own, hang on here. Mark, is a township trustee like city council? Kind of. It is. The difference is, Mark, that a city council is generally nonpartisan, and a trustee, I mean, you have your township supervisor, which is akin to your mayor, except that it's a paid position. You get elected to it, but it's a paid position. Then you have a paid a treasurer position and a paid clerk position. In a city, usually the clerk is appointed and the treasurer is appointed. It's not elected. In a city, they're nonpartisan positions, and the mayor has different ways. Sometimes the mayor is just a top vote getter. Sometimes the mayor is whoever they elect. In Howell, where I live, mayor is a separate race. You have to run for it. And but a township trustee is very much like a council member, except that a township trustee is a partisan position. So Laura's running as a Republican, duh, she's here. So yes, she won't see, you will not see a Democrat in that chair at all for any race ever. So so she's, it's partisan position. But yes, it's very much like that. They set policy, they set the budget, they approve the budget, and they put in come up with the plans for they approve the zoning, things like that. So
they wear a lot of different hats.
Yes,
Absolutely.
they do. So
there's a lot of moving
but it is
pieces.
very much like city council. It's like a council member. The difference being though that it is partisan, which I think if I were, and I may do it, I may put a ballot proposal up there that makes schools and councils all partisan. All maybe judges should be the only thing, but even so, I think I think that I think you need to know where people stand, because you can assume certain voting preferences from a Democrat versus from a Republican, and Democrats want to know if how their judge is going to vote, or how their council person will vote, or how the school board will vote. So yeah, I really believe that it all should be that way, but that's just me. But we'll have to see. Maybe a ballot initiative next year. So yeah, anybody. So here's something I say. These questions, as you can see, like I did Mark here, I brought them up here and I brought them down. If I haven't recognized your comment, it's because it's not here. I recognize all comments up here. So depending on where you're welcome. But depending on where you're watching this from, sometimes the comments don't appear. I believe if you go to the Livingston County Republican Party Facebook page and watch it from there, link on there, I can see you. Mark, where are you watching this from? You never miss a show here. So is it from the Livingston County Republican Party page that you watch this? So I believe that's where he watches it from. So it is, you can always, I almost always see it there. So sometimes certain places you go, I'll look the next day, I'll be scanning and I'll see 2 or 3 comments that, where were those? I would have recognized them on Facebook. But what account on Facebook? Are you on the Livingston County Republican Party Facebook account? I mean, you just don't go on Facebook. That's coming from somewhere. I suspect okay, we have another question for Laura here.
Okay.
Has Howell Township considered contacting Citizen Insurance Building off M59 to rent space for voting? I can't imagine that building's full of employees. That's a good thought.
That's a great thought, Joni, and I don't know the answer to that yet. I do know that Citizens has that building up for sale. Their employees were just notified a couple weeks ago about a sale. I don't know if it's pending or what's happening there, but definitely something that we should look into.
So here's, thanks, Joni. That was a great question, a great statement. Okay, like I said, I was pretty sure that's where you saw it. So if you're not getting recognized up here, Livingston County Republican Party Facebook page, that's a public page. Anybody can watch it, but you can comment. If I'm not seeing your stuff or if I'm not commenting on it, that means I haven't seen it. So, but not Howell Township, Marion Township. Marion Township's building is not much bigger than and neither is, Genoa's is a little bigger, I think, but Marion Township's not much bigger and Marion Township's votes right at the township. I guess I wonder why Howell Township doesn't vote at the township.
I don't know the answer to that because we used to vote at the township.
Okay.
I can remember back, I'll date myself a little bit with going to the township with my son and seeing my old debate teacher. And we used to go right to the township hall and vote. I'm thinking maybe because of the growth numbers and how many people are actually coming in to vote now that maybe they needed a bigger space.
Yeah,
but I'm
I don't
not
know.
sure on that one.
Well, I know that when Jay 4, 5, 6 years ago or whatever it was, he was a commissioner. It used to be his district was Howell City, Howell Township, and Cohocton. Now it's Howell City and Marion Township. But we used to go to Howell Township. I mean, and we would campaign there because that's where people were voting. So I guess I wondered why you need to find someplace. Why don't you just vote there? So that'd be something I'd want to know, I guess, as if I were why would you pay the money to somebody else when you got it right there?
When you have it right there. And I know they're looking at doing some expansions as well, bringing in a park, and that's something that's more in the long-term planning portion.
Sure.
I'm sure, and I hope whoever gets on the board, and that's part of what I'm bringing to this, is a voice and long-term planning.
Right.
Is it fiscally responsible to go out and start the process now and look and see where we're at?
Right.
And where we want to go.
I mean, it seems like if you put in a big community room, you solve a couple. You solve a couple spots. You have some place that the community can use for whatever meetings or whatever they have, community meetings. You also can put voting in there, and so I agree that it's not the biggest space in the world, but it's not crushed. And like I said, people did it before. So
yes, I did. I'm not sure why it was moved.
I don't know why either. So anyway, but yeah, that would be good if you got a community room or whatnot. So. Anyway, so what other thoughts do you have as far as you got notes over there somewhere?
I do have a couple.
Take a look at your notes. Tell us what I'm not asking you.
I know they're doing the Thule Road Park Plan and Polling Place.
Okay.
They went through an audit fairly recently, and that audit went very well for Howell Township. So again, I'll say kudos to them for all the heavy lifting they did there. There's some land for sale that they've been working on as far as, navigating the offers that are coming and going for that land. A lot of really great things are happening in their processes as far as going forward. If you were to go to the website, look at the last meeting, look at the agenda, look at the packet. I know the packets are long sometimes. Some
Yes,
of them
they are.
can
I've
be
seen them. Hey.
they can be upwards of 175, 180 pages, but
Wow.
you can learn a lot in those packets. And it's just a matter of, they've got renderings, drawings, different options going forward. So I'd like to be a part of that process, and I'd like to have the voice of the people behind me.
Well, good. That would be awesome. Joni just put forth a thought that if I can get there he goes. Okay, so she says we have 9 days. Election day has always been very busy,
Yes.
but 9 days. That to me would be even more of a reason, wouldn't it, to need less space? Because used to be you have X amount of voters and they all kind of bottleneck into one spot, but over 9 days, you know that would mean each day is much less people. Plus, there's an expanded absentee ballots now, so voting by mail. So, geez,
That's become pretty popular.
It has been. So
really
between
has.
having 9 days, spacing out whatever 1,000 voters you have through 9 days, it seems like you just don't need that big of a spot. But well, I guess we'll see. But like I feel like it wouldn't hurt to have a community room in there anyway. So if I don't know what their finances are, but if they could, it wouldn't hurt. If you're going to build a park, build a community room.
Build a community room. Absolutely.
Yeah. Then put a park on the outside of that. You can get the park donated. So, all right. Yes, I agree with you, Joni. I think that it is the same, and it's going to be very busy. But I also think that that's huge. So, what else you got over there? Anything?
Right now, that's really the
Okay.
crux of what I'm looking at. Is I would appreciate your support. Obviously, come election time, if you see me out, please stop me. I'd love to hear what people have to say, because ultimately it's our community.
Sure. Has anyone else filed that you know of?
As of 2 weeks ago, I was
okay.
the only
So, all
one
right.
that had filed
Okay.
at
So
this,
we don't know
at this
then.
time.
Okay.
So,
All right. And I think that I'm not sure who's applying, but I know that there's a upcoming supervisor appointment too. So that'll be interesting to watch. I'll have to come back in a
Absolutely.
few weeks and see who they selected. I feel like Howell Township, they make the right selection, they can really move forward. They can do a lot of
Absolutely.
things together. So hopefully they'll do that. So all right. Well, and did you apply for that position when they were appointing?
yes, I did. I did
you
apply for
did,
the
and
appointment.
They did not pick you.
And
Interesting.
there were seven.
Okay. All right.
There were seven,
Well-
and they had somebody that had been on a different board before that they chose.
Yes. So it was opening for one trustee. They had an opening. One trustee left. That was when trustee Shane Fagan
Yes.
left, and they appointed a woman that was on the data center,
Yes.
the no data center committee.
Yes.
And so she's on there now, and that's fine, I guess. But I don't know of her. I don't, the reports I've gotten is that she's very liberal, so I'm not sure about that, what happened there. But okay, so for us, as you know, we're very committed to getting Republicans elected. So we definitely need to pay attention and support the Republicans that run in these positions. These positions are super important, super important. To have the right partisan people, because they can raise your taxes so quick, and it's because it's such a small area. I was talking to somebody about what they pay in business taxes in Putnam Township, and I almost fell through the roof.
Mhm.
It's outrageous here, outrageous, like crazy. So I mean, who you elect is important, and whether they're dumping, spending bad money on top of good. I know Jay and I, we talk about something we call OPM disease, which is other people's money. And oftentimes you get people on boards, or especially as school boards or something, where the cost is so high. Even there's been times on the commission where, let's just dump another 40 or 60,000 onto this, and where there wasn't even on the agenda. And I just think, what are you doing? Yes, you have 40 or 60,000 compared to a, I don't know, $65 million budget or whatever it is. That it doesn't sound like a lot, but still, the word for me, to me, fiscal conservative has a meaning. It means you're not going to just throw money away just because you have it. Paying off things and saving it for when you need it. Our commissioners, by and large, have done a very good job of that. And because of that, when we need something like, I know Jay made a speech at last month's Republican Party about putting in new towers for, expensive towers to improve radio communication for our public safety. And also they put in the two new on the north side in Putnam Township and in Cohocton Township, new EMS stations. And they did all that without raising taxes. And that's because they're not throwing around 60,000, 100,000, $1 million, whatever, because they have it. So this stuff is important. So I commend your commitment to fiscal responsibility and being conservative on this. And here is Rob Jennings, J-Town. Yes, the birthplace of the thing. So yes, Joni, that was a long way to answer your question, but yes, it's one opening. They did appoint somebody. Not sure about that one, but okay. And as Laura said, I know there were a couple of Republicans, solid conservatives that applied. So still scratching my head there. But so I'm glad she's running. I'm glad we have a Republican in the race now. So we'll all get behind the Republican in that race. So looking forward to that. But they also had Mike Coddington, the supervisor, just stepped down too. So next month they will be, I want to say March 10th. Yes, March 10th. They will be appointing a new supervisor. So that'll be interesting to see how they go. All right. So thank you, Madam Chair, for always making local office a big deal. Local positions, yes. School board, township, and city council are important. Mark, that's how I really started. It's, I really took an interest in, there was a lot of emphasis put on the, statewide candidates, but I just have that heart for that local. I'm very protective over the commission. I'm very protective over the local school boards and the library board. Those are important positions. So we do a lot of campaign training and campaign assistance for, the locals, because that's how we stay Republican. This is a Republican county, and it stays Republican because we make sure if Republicans get elected that, if we can't stop somebody from appointing non-Republicans or non-conservatives, but we can sure run somebody against them in that race. So, and I will every time. So that's how it works. So anything else? I think that pretty much sums it up. We're going to go to a commercial and we'll be back. Stick around. Let's see. We're going to do this one.
Welcome to the right side. And with me now is the brand new 7th District Chair, District 3, Livingston County Commissioner, Frank Sample. So welcome, Frank. You're very active in the American Legion.
Correct.
You're very active in the VFW.
This ideology is very damaging to the students who are told, if you get this surgery and make do the social transition, the medical transition, then you'll be happy and all your problems.
Yes,
learned so much.
I'll bet. That's some institutional knowledge right there. And we have, as a special guest, as I said earlier, we have Kevin Reiki with us. Welcome, Kevin. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Go Vogue. Thanks, Kelly. There are those everywhere. We love meeting new people.
Right, yes.
It's in good shape, so that's good news.
That safeness is not afforded to every citizen. They are special.
There's a difference between men and women. There's a biological difference, and it's time for us to stand up for our girls.
He went through, and he came back with a report said there's no way Detroit can meet its obligations on the tax base.
Yes.
So is this DEI focused just on the high school, or are they talking about all
District,
schools?
the entire district.
Maybe that's kind of normal. It's really not. There tends to be little fiefdoms with, different police agencies and police versus fire and fire versus EMS and blah, blah, blah. That's not the case here. So Livingston County is very fortunate.
Okay, here we are again. So, I want to just talk about a couple things. And first of all, I want to reiterate that Cinco de Mayo is May 5th. That's going to be our Lincoln Day dinner. We're going to have it at Cross W. Joni, our wonderful good friend Joni here, Joni Louise, this lady here, also known as Joni Econom, is our chair for that event, and we've had a good time planning the menu for that. It's going to be the Mexican buffet to end all Mexican buffets. I'm really happy to announce that the queen of charcuteries, Michelle Blondil, has agreed to do our Mexican charcuterie, which is going to be great. I'm going to be having my award-winning Mexican bunny seasoning chili there, so we're going to have the best chili ever. Mark Ashley Price, you get your butt out here on Cinco de Mayo. You come to that. You can be there. You can be my guest. Come on down to this party here. Bring somebody with you, and you guys can be my guests and come enjoy the party. So it'll be a blast. We will be once again. So tickets are going to be $100 a person. It's going to include your beer, your wine, your sangria, your pop, and water, and then of course your buffet. The charcuterie, desserts, coffee. We're going to have, again, the wonderful Mary Beth Patricus is going to work alongside Rochelle Huntsman, who's going to be, they're going to do the bucket drawing again. We had such a blast with that, except I think I might have said last week, we're going to not drag that on all night. So we'll have like the top 3 prizes I will draw in front of everybody else. It'll just be pinned on there. So you'll just have to bring up look through and match your ticket to whatever's, drawn, and then you can collect it that way. So we'll be doing that. I'm going to try and find some piñatas. We'll sell little wax at little adult piñatas with, whatever we can find in there, little booze bottles and little plastic booze bottles and lottery tickets and such. So that'll be kind of fun. Also, we are going to be now they're going to be $100 a ticket, but as we did with the Reagan Day, that worked out really well for everybody. We will be offering sponsorships for veterans / young Republicans, for 2 of them for $175. So we give a little break for that. So if anybody's interested in sponsoring, where is Tyler? Hang on. I can't talk and type at the same time. Publicans.
And that's really great, all the young kids.
Oh my gosh.
Involved.
Remember you were at the Reagan Day.
Yes, it's a great time.
It was great. So here I put it up there and I didn't post it. Here we go. Right there's how you reach me. So if you are I know, right, Mark? I'm telling you, it's terrible. I don't understand where he is when I need him. So, all right. Anyway, yeah, he is great at helping out here. So I miss him when he's not here, especially when I'm trying to type over here. So anyway, that's how you reach me. So if you're looking to sponsor a couple of young Republicans / veterans, and I will, use it as I need to. I know that Judge Reeder, a former prosecutor Reeder, former Judge Reeder, he sponsored a whole table full of the young Republicans, which I really appreciated him doing. They appreciated him. I got a beautiful note back for them that I sent to him. So it was a terrific time. We are, I believe we have a group of young Republicans that want to help out. So I'm hoping that this works out. I'm going to let them decorate it. We'll get them a budget, and they'll have to bring me a budget of what they want to do, and we'll let them do the decorations. So I'm really anxious to see. I know Joni's excited too. We really want to see what they come up with for the decor. So that'll be kind of fun. So anyway, veterans and young Republicans. So if you're looking to get yourself a ticket, or if you can't go but you still want to contribute, that's a good way to contribute.
So our convention on the next subject is, let me go back here. I can't do this. Where's Tyler? So the convention is Thursday. Doors, I want to say open at 6 or 6:30. So I think 7 is the start. We have our list of, you can go on the website, livingstonrepublicans.com, and you can see the list. We have 65 people, 65 delegates who have asked to be on the ballot. We have 61 ballots or spots to fill. So 4 of those people will end up having to run for alternates after, because we will be taking up alternates. So delegates to become alternates. So I'm going to throw a little piece of advanced notion out there for anybody listening. Again, we have 65 for 61. You can do one of two things. You can run, and then if you are one of the 4 that do not, the 4 lowest vote getters, you're going back into the hopper, and then you have to run again to be accepted as an alternate. Okay, and the spot you are in as the alternate often determines whether you ever get to vote. So if you're a low vote getter, if people don't know you, you may be 17, 18, 22, 30 on the alternate list. All right, but I'm going to offer, if 4 people agree to, pull off, or anybody out there pulls off, steps down from the delegate list and says, I will become an alternate. The first person to offer will become alternate 1. Second person to offer will become alternate 2. Whoever doesn't offer to do that goes into the hopper, and they could be anywhere in there. So if you're sure you're going to get elected, or you're pretty sure that you're going to be one of the 61, okay, take your chances. But if you're not sure, or you think, ooh, maybe I'm not gonna, or you're a husband and wife and you think, ooh, I might, but my wife not, you two might want to step down and be number 1 and 2, because chances are 1 and 2 will be elevated. There's always, somebody always runs into an issue. So just saying that's going to happen. So if nobody takes me up on it, then that's okay. Then we vote for the 61. Those 4 go back in the hopper, and then we vote for, we will be taking other delegates. If you're a delegate and you want to be an alternate, or you want to, sign up to vote to be an alternate, or to be voted on as an alternate, you may do that. We are not going to take any hardworking Republicans. We can't do that at this point. But we can take any delegate that has not asked to be on the ballot. If you missed it, or, you've decided now you might want to be, that's fine. We will be signing you up as we'll do a second vote for those people that sign up for the alternates. But as I said, if you could end up anywhere in that list, depending on how many people know your name and how many people will vote for you. So if you're not sure, you are way better off putting your hand up first, second, third, or fourth, because the first 4 will almost always get elevated. So that's the convention news. We will also have, I'm happy to say, our swag. We had great events last week. For those of you who didn't make it, and we had a packed house for the meet and greet of Mike Cox, gubernatorial candidate Mike Cox, and Doug Lloyd. I'm getting there. Attorney General Doug Lloyd, and Secretary of State candidate Anthony Fellini. We were packed. Every seat filled in the great room, and then people were standing out in the kitchen area. So it was a great event. A lot of people got to meet them and talk to them. That was there. But the one thing that we did is we sold swag. So I want to give the big shout out to Candy Havarder, who helped me pick out that swag, who helped me organize the swag. We spent a Sunday here folding it, organizing it, inventorying it, getting it ready, and setting it up on tables, so when we have these events we could sell it. And she was here Wednesday. Boy, she sold a ton. So that was great. She was a great salesperson. And then I want to shout out Thursday. We had a pretty good event for Tom
gubernatorial candidate Tom Leonard and Secretary of State candidate Amanda Love. And Tom Econom did the sales for the swag, so that was good too. So the swag is, we've still got lots of swag, and we're gonna bring it to. Candy's gonna be there with somebody, I don't remember who. So another volunteer is going to help Candy at the swag table. So for the convention, also at the convention, I want everybody to know that Norris Hardiman, who's the chair of our delegate recruitment committee, he will have his notaries there, and we'll have a couple tables there signing up. Remember, delegates, as you go to this event, this is it. This is the last time you are a delegate that you're needed. After this, in order to become a delegate for next year, you have to get signed back up to go to be on the ballot again in August. If you don't sign up, and that means, do your statement, do your signature, get notarized, turn it into the clerk. It's a pain in the butt. If you don't do that, though, you will not be a delegate next year. So Norris will have tables there where this is it. You go there before you do anything else. You go see Norris. Go over to the delegate sign up table. Sign up again. So all you got to do, it doesn't cost you anything. Just fill out the paperwork. Sign it in front of. I think Ron Gillard's going to be there and Norris is going to be there as notaries. Sign up, let them notarize your stuff, and then we'll take it. We'll take the whole stack to the clerk and the next, within a couple of days of that. So you don't have to do anything. So we just saved you a trip. We make sure that, you as many people that were delegates. And if you're not a delegate, you still get to come to the convention. You can't vote. You just be there as a visitor. You sort of have to sit in the back, but you can sign up to be a delegate next year. So for all you great volunteers, great hardworking people, or elected officials need to sign up too, because being a delegate is important. You get to pick, certain candidates that even like Mike Murphy, for example, is our sheriff, right? He's automatically a delegate, but he never put his name on this a form, so he's not going to, he didn't put his name on the ballot, so he can't vote for the primary for the Secretary of State or for the Attorney General. So you will, those of you who have asked to be on the ballot, you get to. So it is important. The delegates are the backbone of this party. They really put forth, a lot of stuff. So so make sure you're there, you're ready, you're going to sign up again. So all right, there's that. Now, in March, in March, we have St. Patty's Day Parade. Woohoo! We're going to do that again. I confirmed with our super duper commissioner in charge of all parades and helping us and doing, just about everything. He was my Republican of the Year last year. He's given us a warehouse to use. Unfortunately, our firehouse where we always built our stuff has been sold. So I'm happy for Mike Carney that he was able to sell that, but I'm boo-hoo on us because it was really nice. But Commissioner Sample did say he would find he has a place for us to work at. So he's gonna once again give us his trailer. We have all this. That's a nice thing. We've done this enough times now. We've already got it kind of. We don't have to build it from scratch. We just take the pieces and snap them in, and they bring their drills and off we go to the races. So anybody what we're really looking for is walkers. That's on March 14th. It's the Saturday before St. Patty's Day. So, if you want to come help us decorate, that's fine too. I don't necessarily know there's a ton of it, but we'll take your help. But really, we need people that will walk. So, I will have to get times. It's usually like 10, 11 in the morning, something like that, and till early afternoon. But it's a good place. We decorated it with all kinds of fun stuff last year. I always Commissioner Sample puts a generator on there for us, so I sing the whole way. So this time I'm going to be singing the unicorn song. The green alligators and that one. Praising Pinckney. Where did I say it was? Did I not say that? Yes, Joni. Yes. So. Yes. Joni said for the convention, check in first to get your credentials, then go sign up to be the delegate. Yes, thank you. She's in charge of that, so good for her. Listen to her, don't listen to me. Parade is in Pinckney, that is true. So that's going to be fun. That is a good time. So sign up, please. Back to, here we go. You can reach out to Joni if you want, or email me and I'll get you to Joni. But walkers are important, and we have a blast. We just have a blast. We really do. You can bring your dog. You can walk with your dog. You can walk with your kids. We'd love to have your kids. And we always get little, headbands with little shamrocks boinging around, things like that. So fun stuff like that. So that's the parade. That's the St. Patty's Day parade in Pinckney. While I'm talking about other stuff, what do you guys think about the Epstein files? Anybody look through that? Anybody dug in? Anybody have any comment? I'm looking at all these like worldwide people that are, and I don't know, you just never know, right? If news is true or not. And that's the unfortunate thing we live in now, is you don't know. But I'm hearing that they arrested Prince Andrew. I'm hearing all these, royalties or prime ministers are dropping out of, they're resigning. These companies are resigning, and they're all claiming it's because of the Epstein. Who knows if it is or not? But I think that the big criticism from Republicans anyway about President Trump, not about his policies. We're all happy with his policies, but what we're saying is we were told they're going to go after this, they're going to go after this, they're going to go after this, and what I'm hearing is there's been no arrest yet. So now, to those people, I can say on one side, I get your frustration. Yes, we'd all like to see a bunch of these yahoos put in chains and hauled away. But at the same time, I know that we're going to use Hillary Clinton for an example. There's a big, long list of Republicans that would just are beating on the table to see her hauled away and changed. But think about that, how much of a tight case you need to be before you can do that. So it needs to be built up. So I can understand the pressure. But anyway, so while I'm digging some of this other stuff, I know it takes a minute to type and then get recognized. But kind of tell me your thoughts about the Epstein files. I'm nosy. The other thing is now, tonight at 9:00 is the State of the Union address. So President Trump will give his second one. Last year it was during the day, which, gosh almighty, I wish they would do that instead. But they did it during the day, and I know we all came here on a Monday, and we came here to the Victory Center, and we had it on the big screen out there and the TV in here, and it was great. We had a chicken soup cook-off that day, in which I lost. I made chicken soup. I'm making chicken soup in the morning. I don't have any bouillon. I'm out of bouillon. I had to make soup without bouillon. No wonder I lost. Rob, rematch. Okay, so anyway. I talked about Cinco de Mayo. So the state of the, tonight, anybody that's out, Congressman Barrett has a new office in Brighton, and they're having an open house State of the Union watch party. And so let me get this up here. There it is. That would be 2040 Grand River Avenue Annex, Brighton. I wonder if it's on that. Has anybody been there? Is it on the curve? If it's on the curve in like a bunch of buildings, they have buildings on top and then buildings kind of on the underside around back. That's where the Republican Party during the Mike Murphy time, I think it was Mike Murphy, maybe Lana, I think it was Mike though, had they had the offices there. So anyway, I'll be interested to find out where that is. But 2040 Grand River Avenue, it starts at 8:30. And pizza and refreshments will be served. So if I'm going to stop there when I leave here. I'm going to stop by there and, kind of say hello to everybody and that kind of thing. Okay, Jennifer. Oh my goodness, Jennifer. For those of you who don't know, is from Genesee County. Any thoughts on Anthony Hudson being ousted by the Genesee County Republican Party? Yeah, that's another one that we could have a discussion on. Anthony's been a controversial character since day one, but it's not like
It's not like he floated into this controversy on his own. He sort of, came out saying, I'm going to be the one that is going to, that's going to shake things up. And okay, so that's all right. So it's interesting, if you look at, I'm hearing that, I want to say Oakland County and or Genesee County Republican parties made statements about Anthony being threatening and saying, terrible things about the Republican Party and whatnot, and then leaving and joining the Libertarian Party. Now, the joining thing I saw on social media here the other day was a recent one, but then somebody else said that he joined on October 13th, which that kind of makes me scratch my head, because October 15th he was at my party event. So Jennifer says she's curious if that was a statewide decision by the party. I don't know. Oh, you mean by all Republican parties? I don't think so. Oh, okay. Hold on. Hold on. I'm jumping back and forth now from Epstein to Hudson. So as far as Anthony goes, he has been controversial. The way I see it, trying to be as neutral as possible here, the way I see it, Anthony has been very, very controversial, and he has come out kind of saying he's going to tear apart the system in general because he thinks the whole thing is corrupt, which I understand that, but he's not often seated. Different parties have had different events where they've had gubernatorial candidates seated in order to talk, like in a debate or something, but he and I think Carla Wagner was the other one, weren't seated because they were just looked at as, because they hadn't raised very much money, and there's a belief that without raising money there's no possible way you could win, so they don't see them as a serious candidate, so they didn't seat them. I can understand that. I can understand Anthony being frustrated, saying, well, that discourages grassroots candidates. So I don't take a side on that. Mostly here's why: because my nose stays in my business. I do my stuff in Livingston County the way I want to do it, the way my executive committee approves it. And that's what I do. And if Oakland County or Genesee County or Berrien County or whatever, they do things differently, that's up to them. And I'm not going to judge that. So I know, Anthony, when he was here, he spoke, when he comes to my events, he speaks just like any other gubernatorial candidate, or at least he did. That would change now that he's joined the Libertarian Party. Unfortunately, I cannot support a Libertarian candidate anymore. I can support a Democratic candidate. I work too darn hard in our party to get Republicans elected, and to support, or to give a seat at the table to a Libertarian candidate ain't happening. So no, we'll not do that. Jennifer, you'll hear that. I'll tell you something, like what I have to say or don't like what I have to say, you'll always get honesty from me. So I feel like I said, he comes and he there have been some, as I started to say, there's been some parties that have not given him a seat at the table or not allowed him some equal privileges, I'll say, that they would, say, Leonard or Cox or John James, mostly because he just doesn't have the money that they come from. And so he is, rather than being understanding there, he's kind of taken it to war. So now there's some war going on, and I'm sure there were some hard feelings. And the problem is when you take on an organization, you don't then get to complain when the organization says, well, I'm sorry, you're not welcome here anymore. He never took on us, but I just feel like everybody should just be given the same opportunity, and that's in my purview. But I don't at all think badly or think incorrectly about anybody that's doing it differently. That is it's local control, right? There is no one policy fits all in Michigan. Each individual Republican Party, each county has its own thing, and some counties are big enough that they have several things within there. And I had Detroit
I had somebody from Detroit call me and ask me some questions about my thoughts on things, and I spoke with her quite a while. She's a very, very pleasant woman, and it is, I mean, they have this system out there in Wayne County where they don't have county part, they have districts, and they have this and they have that, and these people overlap here, and no, I like my county, one county, the borders are clear, and there we go. So you agree with me about Anthony Hudson. Okay. Yep. He's an interesting character. I think that, he really needed to come out with money. I mean, I feel like to make it better for him, it would have been better if he would have come out with some money, gotten some sponsorships first, and then hired some consultants or staff to really work with him on a plan. I think he does everything himself from his car. Maybe he has some volunteers making calls or whatnot, but I mean, he goes places and does it himself. So, okay. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's very hard, when you go to an event and your fundraising is selling, $1,500 worth of hats and shirts and things like that. And at the same event, or the same night, the same single night, Tom Leonard or Mike Cox walks out of a event with 40 or 50,000. So it's kind of tough to compete when there's a gap that big. All right, Epstein. Everyone's innocent until proven guilty. I say that because according to the media, both Democrats and Republicans are supposed to be on it. That is true. That is true, and Prince Andrew is on that list. But the interesting thing is I keep hearing is that there's an actual FBI record of Trump calling the FBI saying, this guy is awful. Watch him. He was not allowed to be at any Trump places anymore. So, and I keep hearing these stupid tidbits, and I'm thinking to myself, if there was actually anything, Biden had that for 4 years. You think that wouldn't have come out in that race? What do you think, Laura?
No, I agree.
Yeah. So Mark agrees with me that the GOP is built in Wayne County is very confusing. And, like I said, I don't think it's bad or good. It took me a minute. She was, I tried to ask her, well, what do you do in your county? Well, over here, it's this and this and this. And they don't always think the same way. So, okay, man, I get it. So, it is, but I mean, the fact that there's a GOP in Wayne County to me is that's exciting enough, and it's like surprising enough to me that if you have to do it in districts, okay, more power to you. I get it. The fact that you're there at all is what's good to me. So, all right, well, I am going to wrap things up. I don't think anything's left here. Barrett open house, Epstein files. Anybody? So anything else going on? If there's anything else anybody wants to talk about, now's the time to put it in that chat. So I will bring it up and talk. Or you want to ask Laura anything else that you thought of? Other than that, see, we had the events, the convention, the parade. We don't have a fourth Thursday this month because the fourth Thursday is our convention. However, I talked to Lisa R. this morning. It looks like we're going to do El Toro in March, fourth Thursday of March in El Toro in Brighton. I know that is one of my favorite Mexican places to go. They do have a big room, kind of like an L-shaped thing, and that big room has big long tables you can put together. Lots of times the commissioners go there for like a big Christmas celebration or whatever, a big celebration, all the commissioners and wives and things. So I think they could accommodate all of us easily. We had a great, in January, we had a terrific turnout at the Sports and Sushi Bar in Heartland, but that was fun. But we're going to be, I think, El Toro in Brighton. So mark your calendar for the fourth Thursday, whatever that is, in March. That's where we're going to be, El Toro in Brighton. So shout out to the Statons, who on the bless their heart is, yeah. I introduced Joni and Tom to El Toro, and that became one of their favorites too. So shout out to the Statons, who are heading down south for their couple months worth of their southern vacation. And on the way in the car on the way from one part of Florida to another. Sharon's on the phone with me going over the March calendar so she can get it out when she sits down. So bless your heart, madam, for being on your vacay and making sure that March has a calendar. So she's getting that already. So that's it, I guess. Let's see.
Debbie, I want to take a second and I want to thank you for having me on today and allowing me a chance to introduce myself. I want to thank the audience as well for tuning in and allowing me the opportunity to introduce myself to you. Howell Township is our home. It's my home. It's your home. And if you vote for me, I have a genuine commitment to hearing your voice and bringing that voice forward without any agenda, just moving forward together as a group and making Howell Township the best we can make it for the future.
Thank you. Can't do a better sign off than that. So
thank you very much.
So thank you for signing in. Thank you. You enjoy, everybody. Don't forget the State of Union address tonight, 9:00. If you're watching it in your jammies, if you're out and about, stop by Congressman Barrett's 2040 Grand River in Brighton. So you can always call me or email me or text me or whatnot, and I'll get you there too. So I'm going to head over there too and kind of get comfortable and watch some of that too. So good night. And last statement. Oh, Mark thinks you're awesome and hopes you win. Thank you, Mark.
God bless.
All right. We'll see you next. We'll see you at the convention on Thursday, which Joni has reminded me. Go sign up, get your credentials first, then go sign in to be, and then go to the swag table. But in the meantime, right down here, the same little ticker tape that runs down there, please join the party. We really need you. Join the party. I'll tell you what, join the party. You guys join the party and then text me or email me that you joined the party, and I'll announce that you joined the party the next week. So see you next week.